Hi. Okay, this is part 3 of our unit conversion, and we're going to be doing metric units now. And I have here in front of you, these are our base metric units, and you're probably familiar with these from science. That's what they measure, and that's our abbreviations for them. So you might not know, however, all the prefixes that go with these, so we're going to use our same conversion table that we were using before. Remember, here's the one with yards and feet that we used before, and we're going to go down to the SI prefixes. This part is the small units. Notice this says numbers less than 1, and this side over here has numbers greater than 1, so these are our big units. And we'll come back to this conversion chart in a second when we look at our problem. So here's our first problem. 4.567 trillion meters to gigameters. Well, they already tell me what this is in trillions. So I'm going to start the same way that we did our other problems. We're going to write this number down that we're given. I know it's a little long, but we're going to write it down. And then I'm going to make a fancy one. I need this unit to go on bottom, and I need the unit I'm looking for to go on top. It happens to be GM for gigameters. And I knew it was a big G because I already saw it over here, giga, when I looked at it before. Well, if I go over, this says 10 to the 9th. And the way this table works is this means 10 to the 9th meters equals 1 gigameter. So that's what I'm going to use to make my fancy one. 10 to the 9th meters equals 1 gigameter. So I'm going to write that in my fancy one. 10 to the 9th meters equals 1 gigameter. So now I'm going to go to my calculator. So first I need to put in this big number here, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 9 zeros. And then divide by 10 to the 9th. And this is really easy to do. You just type in your 10, and then you use this button right here with the caret, and you write in your 9, done. And you hit your enter, and there's my answer, 4567. So 4,567 gigameters. Okay, our next one here. Now we want to go from megaliters to liters. So again, I'm going to start by just writing down my problem, 0.005098 mega, and I'm going to look at my chart, M, and then L for liters. And I'm going to make my fancy one. Megaliters goes on bottom, and regular liters goes on top. And I don't know my conversion factor, so I'm going to look at my chart. Oh, mega, right here, is 10 to the 6. So remember, this is 10 to the 6. Liters equals 1 megaliter. So I'm going to use that in my fancy one here. 10 to the 6 goes like that. And this time, instead of dividing, I'm going to multiply here and go straight across. Be very careful of your zeros at the front. You get the right number there, 0.005098 times 10. And then we're going to use the caret again to make the 6. Hit enter. 5,098 liters. So that's how we do those. Now we're going to start and look at another kind here. This kind is where I'm not going to one of my base units. I need to go from nanoliters to decaliters. So this is kind of like before when we needed to go from yards to inches. I'm going to actually need two kind of fancy ones. So again, I'm going to start with my first thing here. But first I have to figure out what billion means. Well, if you just kind of think about it like this, it goes like this: thousands, millions, billions, trillions. And all that happens is we add an extra 3 zeros on each time. So a billion has 3 sets of 3 zeros, or 9 zeros added to it. So I'm going to take this number here, 350, and then I need to add on 3 sets of 3 zeros. Okay? And that's nanoliters. And I'm going to look up nano. That's right here. And the abbreviation is N. So NL. And I need to make a fancy one. But I'm going to go NL to liters for my first one. Nano is 10 to the negative 9th. And remember, that means 10 to the negative 9th liters equals 1 nanoliter. And now I need to go to decaliters. So now we're going to look up decaliters here, and decaliters is not on that side, it's right here, decaliters right there. And its abbreviation is DA, and it's 10 to the 1. So remember, this is 10 to the 1 liters equals 1 decaliter. So I'm going to use that to make my fancy one. So I need liters to be on bottom and decaliters to be on top. And we said it was 10 to the 1 liters is 1 decaliter. And so now we're set. So once again, I'm going to take the top and I'm going to multiply across the top and then divide by the thing on bottom. So I'm going to go here and go 350 000 000. Okay, got it. Times 10 to the negative 9th. Use the caret again, negative 9. And then I need to divide by 10 to the 1 power, giving us just 35 decaliters. And just like we did on the previous problems, I can go through and check that my units all cancel properly by looking for fancy ones. Nanoliters, nanoliters, that's a 1. Liters, liters, yep, just left decaliters. And let's just do one more of those to make sure we've got it. 2.35 million. Okay, first thing we need to change that over to nanometers. 2.35. And I can think about it this way, times 1 million. So that's 2.35 million nanometers. Now I need to make a fancy one. Nanometers. But I can't go straight to millimeters, so I'm going to go to meters first. And I'm going to look that up on my chart. And I'm looking for nanometers. Oh, it's this one we did before. So 10 to the negative 9th meters is equal to 1 nanometer. So 10 to the negative 9th meters is 1 nanometer. And now I want to go from meters to millimeters. So we probably know that one, but let's just look. 10 to the 3rd meters is 1 millimeter. So that's what I'm going to use for my fancy one. 10 to the negative 3 meters is 1 millimeter. And now once again, I can multiply the stuff that's on the top and then divide by the thing that's on the bottom. So 23.5 times the million. Is that right? Yep, looks good. Then times 10 to the negative 9th. Then divide by the 10 to the negative 3. And we get 23.5 what? Well, we are going to millimeters. Let's check if it all canceled. Meters, meters, nanometers, nanometers. Yep, cancels out. So we're left with millimeters. And we're done.